Hey guys, this is Joe with Most Flammable, and we're here with another episode of Call of Cthulhu. We're on Chapter 7, The Nameless Bookstore. Let's get started. The Nameless Bookstore. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a large creature came out of the painting and attacked Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. Pierce decides to pay the librarian a visit.
Yeah, hard fight, I'd say. Thing was a pain in the butt.
Yeah. There's blood on the window there.
That's never a good sign.
What kind of bookstore is this?
A bloody one.
Apparently. That's a bookstore on the wrong side of town.
Where is the bookseller?
That's a good question.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
The Interpretation of Dreams. This practical work, written by Sigmund Freud for psychologists, describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analyst must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares.
I feel like Freud is to psychology what Aleister Crowley is to spiritualism.
Yeah, probably. Although I think there's some overlap there too.
There probably is.
An old diary.
Diary of the Pastor's Wife, Volume 4. The pastor declared himself to be a prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Sounds like a cult to me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there are a lot of books in this bookstore.
Well, I mean, it is a bookstore. You should have a lot of books in a bookstore.
It's almost like they're selling them.
I will say a lot of them look the same, though.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, what's that?
Man.
Someone attacked a plant. Or something green.
Or a plant attacked someone. Oh, it's all over that book, too.
Oh.
There's skeletons hanging up.
Skeletons? I missed the skeletons.
Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a Harry Potter bookstore.
Well, it's probably like the medical section. I bet you could find medical books in that area.
Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection, Book 2. As precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders.
Ah, see?
Ooh, and that was a medical journal too.
I knew there'd be a medical book over there.
Oh, there's another one. I'm probably not going to do those because I'm probably not going to read those because it's just the medical books that I can pick up.
Yeah.
History of Darkwater, Volume 2. A Puritan colony led by the revered John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the particular color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century.
I wish they would have said when they got there.
Yeah.
I mean, it says Puritan, so
Well, I mean,
it could be like...
Didn't the statue or something in the Hawkins garden say something like the 1600s?
That's true. I wasn't thinking about putting that together, but that makes sense.
History of Darkwater, Volume 4. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because, up till then, the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship.
Man, those guys sound like they had quite a battle.
Oh, got some more fluid for my lighter, or for my lantern.
That almost made it seem like it wasn't a whale, though, that they pulled up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Enter reconstruction mode.
Because why would a whale eat the other whales?
Yeah.
That's assuming, of course, that the miraculous catch is what they were referring to just
Oh, man.
then.
That looks like there's something back behind there.
A safe.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Let's check all through here.
You think it's Charles Hawkins who broke in?
Oh no, I didn't even notice the blood on the floor there.
Well, he was dripping when he got done opening the door.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals?
Somebody who doesn't plan to use their tools again.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Oh man.
Well, that's creepy.
What the? Charles Hawkins?
Man.
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it?
Didn't you see it in the asylum?
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
I think you might be right.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
Hide it from her husband.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
So he turned evil or something and she was trying to hide this stuff from him?
I don't know. Oh.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Drake's memories. A page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and my bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they may be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother, if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as a celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver the content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Artemage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions.
Man. Sounds awfully sad, but he's also very cocky.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so there's 3 cylinders.
Mm-hmm. So one...
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
That's not good.
I found these sleeping pills in the bookshop. Does the bookseller suffer from insomnia?
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Key of Ralia file. This key that bears the Elder's sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion, hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In the press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it.
So is that one of the things that we're looking for in here?
I'm not sure.
Well, I would look over in the Greek section because they were...
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of books.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
Arkham Anthology, Volume 4, The Key of Solomon. A book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocations and rituals of curse. Reedition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L.W. de Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
Did you say esotericism or esotericism?
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Read that last part again and we'll
A
cut it.
luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism. How do you...
Esotericism.
Okay, Bloopers.
Mhm.
A luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism. A luxurious collection of treatises and works on esoteric.
Here,
Every time I try to
let me read this one.
A luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. Did I do it right?
You did. Arkham Anthology Volume 4, The Key of Solomon. A book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. Reedition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L.W. de Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Arkham Anthology, Volume 8, Massa di Requiem per Shure. Opera in 8 acts by Benvenuto Citi Brodigliera, and I probably mangled his name, an infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing.
Jeez.
This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises. Okay, that is... I cannot say the word esotericism?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Man, I keep trying to say that, and I end up saying... it ends up sounding like an attack.
A luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
At least we don't have to read the bottom part of it again.
Yep.
A collection of long-term... Okay, this is Arkham Anthology, Volume 6, The Prophecies. A collection of long-term astrological predictions written in verse. Written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Whitebridge. No, Theophilus? I don't know.
Yeah, like Theophilus is what it looks like.
Sometimes the TH is hard T, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's...
Oh my gosh,
tell.
how many books are
I
there?
don't know.
Editions.
Isis
Never heard
and
of them.
Failed. This one's Volume 7, a book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's, I know that one, Theophysical Movement, written by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. That's got to be like her daughter, maybe, or her granddaughter, you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or her.
Oh, I guess because it says Madam, so I always
Yeah.
just heard of her as Madam Blavatsky, so
That's
I
the way
didn't ever
I've heard
think
her.
of
Yeah.
her having an actual first
How many
name.
volumes are there in this collection?
Corpus Hermeticum. This is Volume 2, and it says, written by Hermes, I'm not even going to try that name, translated and edited by Nathaniel. Yep. This collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, a popular text among 16th century alchemists. I've heard of that before.
Yep. That's interesting that they kind of mix.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Things that should not be. This is volume 3, a collection of essays on American folklore and urban legends, written by Albert Wilmarth, professor at, isn't that same?
Miskatonic University.
Yeah, that's that same university that the other one mentioned. Man, I'd like to read that
Arkham
book.
editions.
That sounds interesting.
Never heard of him.
This is volume 1. Oh, we found the first one. An ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. The text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover, that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language. That's interesting.
I think we got the other
What
ones.
people? I guess
now,
the
are those
Frisian
supposed
people?
to give us clues on?
I mean, I would
the-
kind of think so, but none
Let me
of them
see if-
looked like they were talking about Greek stuff. Oh,
Yeah. I think we got that one from the other side.
okay.
There were
That's what I was wondering.
like 3 of them over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide.
Ah,
I should perhaps listen to them.
okay. Well, I found 2 cylinders.
was it only 2?
There were supposed to be 3 of them.
I thought there were 3 there.
Would you like to read the book?
Yeah.
What does this
please.
strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Oh. Malleus Bestiarum. This collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of. Divinities from the stars. Creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Man, that's a $5 word.
Yeah, right.
Phantasmagorical. That's like 3 words and a half.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
That's like 3 words and a half. That's like, okay, no. I think that would be kind of annoying if I did that 10 times fast.
Probably. And it would be my own fault.
It sure would. Man, this guy didn't believe in skeletons in his closet. He just kept them all over the place.
A kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? Angel wings, maybe?
Yeah, don't know.
Oh, there we go. We could listen to that on the thing.
Yeah.
Although we may want to check
Things are
everything
not
else
looking good.
first.
Now, wait a second.
Depends on whose side you're playing.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything under the table, was there?
I kind of want to look at the chessboard and figure out who's winning. I'm assuming
Well, somebody
Oh.
can always go back and pause it on there and see who's winning later.
it looks
if they
like
want
black
to.
is in a pretty good position. But
There was a ladder in the other room.
was there?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it just yet. If
I mean,
look
we
at
can-
everything else.
We can try to... Oh, there isn't.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky. Yeah, definitely that's her name, not her daughter's. At the end of the 19th century, the creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but not one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Yeah. He's like, that's a book I'm pocketing.
Yep. Don't mind if I do.
All of these different books, and it's funny that the one person that I mentioned when we first walked in, Crowley, was not among them.
Yeah.
You would think that this would be right, hand in hand. I mean, Blavatsky wasn't she right there with Crowley?
No, I think she was more of a, if I remember correctly, she was more into like fortune telling and stuff, and possibly like, maybe like seance type stuff. And I may be getting this completely wrong.
Well,
So
I think she was into that stuff, but she's always brought up at the same time that people talk about Crowley. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah. I think Crowley was more ceremonial magic, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, I guess I don't have Drake's Cylinder 1, do I?
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
He said something
that's
about the
not
red
good.
stones.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So red drops? So
Well,
maybe the sapphires?
The chalice
definitely
of
talking
knowledge.
about the Grail.
So 2?
2?
Yeah, because he said that these cylinders give the combination. And there's only 2 visible.
I see, yeah. So that's one of them. So that's got to be the middle one then, right?
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
So count how many pawns are left.
Well, you think pawns or white
It's
pieces?
pawns. Oh, well, he said, we shall refuse to be the... I guess there's no pawns left, though.
Here,
so
let's listen to it again.
But he was saying, shall refuse to be the playthings of
I finally
destiny. Talking about
understood
the
that
pawns.
we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about the remaining white pieces. So there's 3 remaining white pieces other than the...
Right. I think you're right. At first I was thinking because, people refer to pawns being the play, or people being pawns too,
Yeah.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
So volume 9.
I don't think we found that one.
Yeah, let's go look again.
But 9, that would be the number,
What did
right?
Drake say about this collection?
Volume
It's 2, 3,
Drake talked
9.
about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection?
7,
Drake talked about a particular...
6,
so these are the volumes that
9.
Drake was talking about in his message.
A collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. Well, I guess Nightmare makes sense since they're all having trouble sleeping, right? So.
Yeah, but there's got to be a number associated with it.
Yeah, it's 9.
9?
Yeah, because it's volume 9.
Okay, well, let's try 239 then.
Did it work?
No, I don't think so.
Unless maybe they were counting the pawn, or they were counting the king as one of the
The
remaining.
queen?
So maybe it's 4.
I could do 4.
Like 2, 4, 9.
Nope, that didn't seem to do it. I'm pretty sure that's 3, though.
So maybe let's go back and take a look at the goblet then again, because it's
Now,
got to be
it could
something
be
to do with that.
The
What is it?
chalice of knowledge.
I rotate it.
Oh, you can rotate it. Okay, so then that's.
Okay, let's see.
There's
1,
gotta be
2,
6.
3, 4, 5. There's 5.
There's 5?
There's 3 on this side. So it's right at the edge of the handles.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 on the back. So 5. So let's try 5.
That was a good idea, using the handles as a marker to. I was going based on how many I could see from one side.
Now that was the first one, right?
Yes, the first one.
So I need to go back over to here.
So 5 and then. Oh, there you go. There's trouble.
That looks like the Necronomicon.
Like I said, it's trouble.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's going to be waiting there for him to have opened it. Ooh. It's the Eye of Sauron! Uh-oh. That is never a good sign. Close the book!
Yeah. Something bad's about to happen.
Right?